The Forest Friends Episode 3, The Shadow Above.
Quick!
Grace whispered urgently, pulling Tommy under the low branches of a weeping willow. Grunt squeezed in behind them, trying to make himself as small as possible, while Sparkletwig darted between the hanging leaves. The shadow passed over them again, larger this time, and a cool wind rustled through the willow's curtain of leaves. Tommy held his breath as something huge soared overhead.
What was that?
He whispered once the shadow had passed. Sparkletwig's usual sparkle had dimmed slightly as she perched on a thin branch near their faces.
That,
she said gravely,
is exactly what I needed to tell you about. The Shadow Collector has returned to Whispering Woods.
The Shadow Collector?
Tommy, Grace, and Grunt asked in unison.
A great dark bird.
Sparkletwig explained, her tiny voice trembling slightly.
Bigger than any normal bird should be. It doesn't collect just any shadows. It steals magical ones. The shadows that help the forest stay magical.
Grace nodded knowingly.
That's why Grandmother has been so worried lately. She says the forest feels different, less alive.
Exactly.
Sparkletwig continued.
Without its magical shadows, the forest is losing its power. The flowers that normally glow at twilight have gone dark. The singing mushrooms have fallen silent, even the whispering trees.
She gestured to the great trees around them.
Are speaking less and less.
Grunt hugged his heart-shaped rock closer.
But why does it want the shadows?
To keep them locked away in its nest at the top of Mount Mistpeak.
Sparkletwig pointed toward a distant mountain shrouded in clouds.
The Shadow Collector thinks if it holds all the magic, it will become the most powerful creature in the forest. But it doesn't understand. Magic isn't meant to be hoarded. It needs to flow freely through the forest, like water in a stream.
Tommy felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness bubble up inside him.
And you need our help to stop it?
Sparkletwig nodded, her sparkle brightening again.
Each of you has something special we need. Grace knows the forest paths better than anyone. Grunt is strong and brave when it matters most. And you, Tommy.
She smiled warmly.
You have the one thing the Shadow Collector would never expect. A pure heart that can see the good in everyone, even those who seem scary at first.
Like me.
Grunt beamed proudly, making them all giggle.
But Mount Mistpeak looks really far away.
Tommy said, peering through the willow leaves at the distant mountain.
It is.
Grace agreed, a determined look in her eyes.
We'll need supplies. I can get some from my grandmother's cottage. She has maps and special forest torches that never go out.
And I know where to find the sweetest berries for the journey.
Grunt added enthusiastically.
Then it's settled.
Sparkletwig declared, floating up to look each of them in the eye.
Meet back here when the sun touches the top of the twisted tree. Pack only what you can carry, and tell no one where you're going. The Shadow Collector has eyes everywhere, and the fewer who know of our quest, the better.
As if to emphasize her point, the great dark bird's shadow passed overhead once more, making them all huddle closer together under the willow's protective branches. Tommy thought about his mother, who would surely be worried when she discovered him missing. But then he looked at his new friends, a brave forest girl, a gentle org, and a magical pixie, and knew that this adventure couldn't wait. The forest needed them.
We'll save the forest,
He promised, holding out his hand. Grace placed her hand on top of his, followed by Grunt's much larger one, and finally Sparkletwig, who was so tiny she could only place her whole self on top of their joined hands. Together, they would bring the magic back to Whispering Woods, or get into a lot of trouble trying.
To be continued.